Now on CoastTV News.
It's cold and dry now, but another round of snow and some rain is possible on the way. A winter weather advisory already in effect to our north for parts of Delmarva. I'll break down the timing and snow totals coming up.
Gun crisis averted at Cape. How one of the greatest fears a parent can have these days was dealt with in Lewis.
State of the First State. John Carney preparing to deliver this annual speech in his final year as Delaware governor.
The race to represent Delaware. We take a look at the three Democrats in this September's primary attempting to become the state's next rep in the House.
This is CoastTV News Today.
And welcome to our 6 o'clock hour. Good morning. I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Paige Marley. It is Thursday, January 18th, 2024.
Yeah, no snow today.
Nope.
You might want to find that snow shovel for Friday.
I might be one of those
Paige.
people. You know, everyone runs to the stores
Yeah,
and they're fighting over
It's
shovels.
usually the hardware store and the grocery store.
I didn't even think the grocery store might have shovels.
Oh, they might. I was thinking food, but you're
Oh.
right. You're right. I think I have seen them. So.
Sometimes in the front where, like, by the firewood is.
Right, one-stop shopping.
Oh, I was going to be that person in a hardware store. Maybe I'll be that person at the grocery store.
Get a few. I could use a few snacks if you're swinging by.
I'll take notes. Let's
Okay.
see what, hey, Bob, you need anything grocery store? I'll be there.
Yeah, I've got a list. Yep, milk and bread. You know, why is it always milk and bread that folks go for when we have snow on the way? But no, I have my snow shovel. It's in my garage. I took it out of storage last week, dusted off. Might need to use it tomorrow. Not today, though. Teens and 20s out the door this morning. It's cold, mainly clear. 19 in Georgetown, 19 Seaford, Salisbury, 20, 24 in Bethany Beach right now. The big difference between today and yesterday are the winds. They were really strong yesterday, but now they're very, very light, so that's nice. And they're generally coming out of the southwest, so teens and 20s is what it feels like, pretty much just like the actual temperature, as we're looking at mostly clear skies. Some clouds to the north right now across Pennsylvania, and there are more clouds farther to the west, West Virginia and Virginia, and they will be filling in during the course of the morning. We're still below freezing at 7. We start to increase the clouds by 9, and we get above that freezing mark by about 9:30. By noon, we're looking at upper 30s, close to 40 for a high into the afternoon as we thicken up the clouds with the light southwesterly breeze. And the wind chill's not as brutal today. You see the actual temperatures climbing from the 20s to around 40 later, and it feels like temperatures in the 20s, but feeling like mid-30s by this afternoon.
Thanks, Bob. And this morning, Cape Henlopen High School students and staff scheduled to be on campus for Thursday classes and activities. This comes less than 24 hours after we learned about a scary situation there. A student was found carrying a gun in a backpack. According to the district's assistant superintendent, the school resource officer, the constable, and administrators were told that a student might have a gun. And when they investigated these claims, they found indeed that there was a gun. The student was then immediately taken out of the building. No one was harmed, and the school said there is no concern for safety. We were on the scene at the school Wednesday afternoon, and here is what one concerned parent told us.
Shock. Yeah, I mean, I'm really surprised. Wasn't expecting to hear something like that happening here.
And after school activities at the high school ended up being canceled Wednesday night, as Cape officials say, they are working with the state police to prevent something like this from happening in the future.
CoastTV News received another voicemail from Cape Henlopen High School explaining why the school felt it was best to postpone all evening school activities last night. Principal Kristen DeGregory says, quote, "The issue that occurred earlier at Cape Henlopen High School is extremely concerning to the high school, staff, students, and the entire Cape Henlopen School District." She says the administrative team and the Delaware State Police are now focusing their efforts on investigating the incident, and they are working together to better understand what happened and how similar incidents can be prevented in the future.
Yeah, and as the parent of a student at that school, at that high school, it briefly was a tense situation on Wednesday when we got that phone call. Thankfully, it didn't escalate into something more serious. And I picked up my son after school on Wednesday. He wasn't even fazed by this. I guess typical teenager.
Typical teenager. He's okay. It's over now. Let's move on, which I guess is best case scenario.
Right.
So glad.
Move on.
Yes.
Class today.
Definitely.
All right. Well, happening today also the work on the budget in Bethany Beach. At its meeting, the town's budget committee will review the results of the third quarter of fiscal year 2024. It is part of a plan to draft the fiscal year 2025 budget. Now, committee members will also look at proposed changes to the town's schedule of fees.
This afternoon, John Carney is scheduled to give his final State of the State speech as Delaware governor, as he is in the final year of his final term. This comes 1 week before Carney is set to give his budget proposal for fiscal year 2025 next week. This address will be held at 2 p.m. and you can watch it live on Facebook, and Coast TV News will have your full coverage right here at 5, 6, and 11.
Yeah, Carney also facing some legal troubles. The Delaware Republicans are trying to hold the governor accountable for restricting places of worship during the pandemic. In 2020, Carney ordered all places of worship to limit capacity to no more than 10 people. This was in order to prevent the spread of COVID-19. We did speak with a local pastor who believes people would have put themselves at risk by attending a religious service during the pandemic.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, I remember giving a talk later, about a year later, and thinking about what did we learn, in this period, this unprecedented period, And one of the things that I said was maybe one of the sine qua nons of worship, I would have said would have been togetherness, that, where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, Christ is here among us, right? But then I realized, no, safety is the most important thing, keeping people safe.
And Republicans are looking for the Delaware Supreme Court to agree that restricting religious institutions was wrong. And if there is another health emergency, they want to ensure the government cannot shut houses of worship down. Oh, and Delaware Senator Tom Carper announced his resignation last year. It created not 1, but 2 seats open in Delaware's congressional delegation.
Current Representative Lisa Blunt Rochester now running to fill Carper's space in the Senate. There's plenty of interest in being the person who replaces her in the House of Representatives.
3 Democrats vying for the one and only U.S. House seat in Delaware. They may be from the same party, but there are not so subtle differences in background and policy position. State Senator Sarah McBride attempting to make history by becoming the first transgendered person elected to Congress. Eugene Young is Delaware's director of the State Housing Authority. It's a position once held by the current member of the House, Lisa Blunt Rochester. Colleen Davis is Delaware's treasurer and looking to become the first member of either chamber of Congress from Sussex County since John J. Williams resigned from the Senate at the end of 1970.
That doesn't need to be at the expense of open space. We've got a lot of commercial space that can be redeveloped into residential. We've certainly got the opportunity that when new development occurs, that sometimes that development is a little denser, that it might be multifamily dwellings, that it might be semi-detached or homes rather than all single-family detached homes.
It's a multi-tiered approach. It's not going to be just one-size-fits-all type of an approach, and I think it's got to be, as I said, materials, finances, and the ability for people to make decisions on their own.
$5 million in down payment assistance to first responders, teachers, those who worked in the medical or healthcare space. $15,000 down payment assistance. You stay in the house for 10 years, you don't have to pay it back.
Anytime you are making illegal at the federal level cannabis banking, or the ability to bank those funds after you sell it, even from a medical perspective, that is a challenge.
We need to understand that this is something that we have to be monitoring of, but I do believe that marijuana should be legal, and we should not be institutionalizing people for their use of marijuana.
When you try to prohibit it because you prohibit the sale in your borders, you probably only feed a black market, which is exactly what we were trying to undermine with the legislation. But it is certainly their right, and they're allowed to do so.
I do believe electric vehicles are going to be a part of our future for here on out. We just have to make sure that we don't move ahead of the people in which we're trying to serve.
In order to actually address the global crisis of climate change, we need federal action and federal solutions. And so after several years in the legislature where we've been able to make historic progress showing that small states can do big things, I'm running for Congress now because we need federal action.
There's a risk that people take that they won't actually get to their destination before their battery runs out. And I think, again, when we're talking about the costs, we're talking about, individuals' pockets and whether or not they can actually afford the higher ticket price that goes along with an EV.
I've proven a capacity to deliver real results in a legislative context on all of the issues that matter.
I'm the only candidate that has the ability to think about the person, when we talk about how we affect people and the household, and how we actually serve people in a way that doesn't crush them.
Whether it's just not even from the housing piece, but also from the nonprofit space, the community development space over this last 20 years shows more importantly, what I've done.
And since we wrapped up this preview, Dover businesswoman Danielle Hall is seeking the Republican nomination for this seat. CoastTV is attempting to schedule an interview with Hall to air at a later point in time. And on CoastTV News at 6, we wrap up our series Decision 2024 Preview Week. We take a look at the race in the Senate in Delaware. That's tonight's installment of Decision 2024 Preview Week on CoastTV News at 6.
Maryland Governor Wes Moore has released his spending plan for the state. The total cost for fiscal year 2025, $63.1 billion. Key areas it looks to address include additional funding for public safety, child care, employee raises, and more. The plan does not raise taxes. Some of that will be accomplished by moving money around. The governor is also looking to make the state more business-friendly by cutting down on permitting processes and regulatory red tape.
I'm going to take you now live. This is the U.S. Capitol building. Lawmakers have a busy day ahead there as the deadline to avoid a partial government shutdown is looming. Paige, I feel like we've been through this before.
Yeah.
Even recently. Congress down to the wire with the U.S. budget. Right now, parts of the government could shut down when tomorrow ends.
It does seem like we have this conversation pretty often, but the difference this time is that negotiations aren't just focused on spending. Amy Kiley shows us what each party wants to lock into this deal.
You cannot do things with one party in a divided Congress.
Tomorrow is the last day of funding for segments of the federal government. That's unless lawmakers can prevent a partial government shutdown. It would affect military construction, veterans, transportation, the Energy Department, and more. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says his chamber should be able to vote on and pass a stopgap measure today. It would create new funding deadlines of March 1st and 8th. And it's partly the work of the House Speaker.
In spite of what people are saying on both sides, this is a better agreement than we had.
But the sticking point with funding the government right now isn't about funding the government.
Border. We have to secure our own border before we talk about doing anything else.
Senators are working on a bipartisan immigration deal.
There was also an openness to, in a bipartisan way, addressing the situation at the border.
The trouble is crafting a plan both Senate Democrats and hardline House Republicans can support by tomorrow night.
If the bill looks like some of the things that have been rumored, of course it's dead in the House because it wouldn't solve the problem.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
And congressional leaders met with the president yesterday, touched on another urgent matter, and it's sending more American taxpayer money to Ukraine.
And we're just getting started in this hour of CoastTV News Today.
Yeah, coming up, bus fleet going green. We'll tell you Maryland Governor Wes Moore's goal for the state.
Also ahead this morning, with temperatures dropping below freezing, there is the risk of frostbite. We're telling you the signs you should look out for.
And paying more at the post office. We'll tell you about the increase coming in just a few days. All that and more as CoastTV News Today continues.
Enjoy an evening of elegance and unmask a child's future at the 10th Annual Boys and Girls Club Masquerade Ball. Dress up and bring your finest mask to the Lighthouse Cove Events Center in Dewey Beach on Saturday, February 24th. Doors open at 6 for live and silent auctions, an open bar, dinner, and dancing. Save the date and help fund scholarships and key initiatives that benefit kids in our community. For more information, call 302-841-9639.
Take the DSN app with you wherever you go and never miss a game from your favorite local team. Whether you're on the road, stuck at the office, or out with friends and family, the DSN app notifies you when your team is on live, so you can watch the game as it happens or watch videos on demand. Keep up with local sports all from one app. From your mobile device to Fire Stick, Roku, and Apple TV, download the DSN app today. Driven by Preston Automotive Group.
Why'd you have to strike that match? It set my world on fire.
I'm giving up on love, 'cause love's giving up on me.
Gonna sound like a winner when I lay you down and love you right. Yeah, that's my kind of night. Won't stay right here all night. If the good roads feel like creek, we'll rise.
1039 and 1063. We're local, we're Coast Country, and we're Delmarva proud.
Get ready to soar with the Hawks. Delmarva Sports Network is your exclusive home for UMES Hawks basketball. From the first whistle to the final buzzer, DSN will take you courtside. Experience the excitement of both the men's and women's teams with every dribble, steal, and three-pointer. To see the schedule or watch the games, go to delmarvasportsnetwork.com or download the DSN app. Join us all season long only on the Delmarva Sports Network, your exclusive home for UMES Hawks basketball.
6:15 on this very cold Thursday morning. Gutter helmet cam from the Ocean View VFW. We've got some stars, but we've got some clouds increasing as well. 23 in Ocean View. Some upper teens from Seaford to Georgetown and Milton. Upper teens and 20s pretty much this morning. The good news is the winds are not as ferocious as they were yesterday. So we're not talking about wind chills in the single digits, more like teens and 20s. So it's still cold, but not as cold as it was yesterday as we're looking at mostly clear skies, but some clouds increasing to the north. And anytime you see the shivering thermometer, you know it's cold out there. So for the coffee cast, make sure you have a nice hot cup of Joe out the door. Max warming needed as we go through the morning hours.
Thank you so much. In some traffic news now, an announcement for drivers in Fenwick Island beginning Wednesday, January 24th. The Department of Transportation says they are closing West Maryland Avenue between Route 1 and Island Street. That closure will run through February 8th, and the purpose of this closure is to install new drainage, hopefully that will improve flood-prone areas.
And also got news for drivers in Laurel. Dogwood Lane is closing for pipe installation. This is between Old Hickory Road and Airport Road. Starts Monday, lasts until January 26th. Detours are in place on Old Hickory Road and Airport Road.
The cost of stamps and other United States Postal Service mailing services will increase on January 21st. The proposed adjustments will raise mailing service product prices by approximately 2%. The first class Forever stamps will go from 66 to 68 cents. Domestic postcards increasing from 51 to 53 cents. And international postcards are upped from $1.50 to $1.55.
45 billion times a day. That's how often J.P. Morgan Chase says hackers try to infiltrate its systems. Leaders at J.P. Morgan Chase claim they now invest $15 billion a year and employ 62,000 IT experts to fight against cyber crimes. The rapid increase of artificial intelligence has also led to more cyber complex attacks.
Still ahead this morning, temperatures on Delmarva, they've gotten dangerously low. We've been talking about it all morning. Coming up, we have how you can protect yourself from the risk of frostbite.
And those temperatures are low, but they will warm up today. Tyndall's Casual Furniture Cam starting to show increasing clouds right now. It's cold, but we actually do get above freezing today. And with the warm up come the clouds and a chance of snow as we go into Friday. Maybe a little bit of rain mixed in. It is a first alert weather day. I'll have impacts, timing, and snow amounts coming up next.
Shift gears for success with the DSN Scholar Athlete Award. Brought to you by your Salisbury Honda dealer.
Each month we'll award a $1,000 scholarship to a Delmarva High School senior who excels in sports and in the classroom.
It's tapped home.
Oh, what a hit! They must have at least a B average or higher and a drive for good sportsmanship.
Nominate your champion today on the Features tab on DelmarvaSportsNetwork.com.
The DSN Scholar Athlete, driven by your Salisbury Honda dealer.
Middays with me, April Brilliant. It's a feel-good show on your radio.
April is the easiest way to get through your workday.
She can play your favorite song.
She can help you find your furry friend.
The easiest way to get through your workday is with April.
She really makes you feel special.
Hey friends, hang out with me weekdays here on Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3 each day from 10 to 3.
From inside Iran, from Israel, from Florida, from Lewiston, Maine. Part of our continued reporting. This is what a country in war looks like. Women, children. What is it like? Countless neighborhoods across the region that look just like this. Everybody good? It took for all this damage to occur.
The weather is brought to you by Spicer Brothers Construction. Born here to serve here.
Are you dreaming of the perfect outdoor space where you can relax and entertain? Look no further than Delmarva's most trusted partner, Spicer Brothers. We pride ourselves on superior craftsmanship and only use the finest materials to create beautiful, durable decks. From classic wooden decks to low-maintenance PVC materials, we have the perfect solution for you. And right now, get a free Green Mountain Grill with your new deck. Plus, enjoy 0% financing with no payments and no interest for 18 months. Spicer Brothers, turning homeowners' dreams into reality for over 20 years.
All right, 6:19 a.m. on this Thursday morning, and in the middle of your screen, we're checking out the live scene once again in Salisbury. Pretty bright there. It's a cold start to the morning, Bob, so maybe warming up the car or the truck could be a good idea.
Absolutely. And on that camera yesterday, Matt, we had snow on the roof on those buildings in Salisbury. So the melting trend has started somewhat, and it will really kick in today. We'll defrost a little bit with temperatures into the 40s, and you'll need extra time to warm up the car, truck, what have you. And make sure you scan the QR code down there in the lower left part of your screen. That gets you to the CoastTV weather app. So there's a lot of frost out there this morning. You'll be doing the scrape for about another 5 to 10 minutes extra as the winds are lighter. We've got some moisture, and it will be a frosty time this morning with temperatures in the upper teens from Seaford to Georgetown and Delmar. 21 in Millsboro, Indian River Inlet 27, Bethany Beach at 24, Lewis at 22. So it's still cold, but it does not feel as bad as yesterday because that wind was just whipping in the face and it was stinging and all that, but it's much lighter this morning. It's coming in out of the southwest, and in fact, it's calm in most places. So the wind chill pretty much mimics the actual temperature in the teens and 20s right now. And the satellite picture still has that milky look to it because we still have a lot of cold air around, but the white that's moving, that is cloud cover across northern Delaware back into Pennsylvania, and there is more cloud cover back to our west, and we'll see that increasing today. That's ahead of our next system that we're watching, now developing across the plains with snow in different areas. This will organize as it moves to the east. Now, there is a winter weather advisory to our north on into Kent County and Newcastle County. They could see more in the way of accumulating snow, more than Sussex County as we go into your Friday. So let's walk you through it. Here's Futurecast 7 a.m., upper 20s, lower 30s at 9:30. We finally get above that freezing mark, and we're close to 40 by 2:30. So we'll see a lot of clouds, but we do warm it up finally. And as we go into this evening, we'll thicken up the clouds. Then we move into Friday morning, and I think we'll start to see snow developing to our south and west right around news time. And we're looking at snow around 6 a.m. and then 7:30. You start to see it spreading to the north. You see temperatures still around that freezing mark, so sidewalks and streets could be really treacherous with accumulating snow as we go through the morning. The brighter purple color may be indicating some brighter banding in the snow with heavier snow, and then it starts to taper down as we go into the evening, and then it's followed by Arctic air and a big push of Arctic air as we go into Saturday. By Saturday morning, we're seeing temperatures in the teens. So how much snow are we looking at? A dusting to an inch around Willards to Ocean Pines, up to about Bethany Beach, about an inch or two, Seaford, Georgetown, Millsboro, Longneck, and then points north at least 2 to 4 inches of snow, and maybe up to a half a foot across Pennsylvania and Jersey. Feels like temperatures single digits by Saturday morning, and really much of the day is just frigid on your Saturday. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, 41 today, 38 first alert day on Friday for snow, accumulating snow. Then it dries out and cold for the weekend. Upper 20s Saturday, 33 Sunday, but then warming up next week. And by Wednesday, it's in the lower 50s with a chance of rain showers.
All right, thanks, Bob. Freezing temps that we've been talking about on the coast means it is time to bundle up. And with the temps this low, it's also the risk of frostbite. Gloves, hats, coats, all essential when it comes to keeping ligaments protected. But professionals at BB Healthcare say that, well, if you do get frostbite, it is important to seek care right away.
You're going to notice some redness of the fingertips, and then you can get into that whiteness, the blue and purple color. So you'll definitely have some skin discoloration. People with darker skin tones are not going to be able to see as many of the skin color changes, and their skin typically will not get red. It'll actually turn hypopigmented.
And if you do have frostbite, BB Healthcare says the best thing to do is to use warm water on where the numbness is and also remove any wet clothing.
We are thrilled to announce CoastTV has a brand new Facebook page, so check it out for the latest in news, exclusive content, and interactive discussions with you. Make sure to visit and follow our brand new page. You can head over to facebook.com/CoastTVNBC or scan that QR code that's right there on your screen to stay connected with us.
Well, up next, bus fleet going green. We'll show you what could come for buses in Ocean City if a move by Maryland's governor is approved. Don't go anywhere as we continue on Coast TV News Today.
Delmarva's Rock Station, 93.5, The Beach.
What do you do when your tire goes flat and there's no air anywhere? You reach for Bullseye Pro, the smarter, faster, hands-free way to fill it up with air. Bullseye Pro is equipped with a rechargeable power plant, smart pressure sensor, and custom nozzles. It's like the power of an air compressor in the palm of your hand. Get your complete Bullseye Pro inflation system for just $79.99 and get free shipping. Plus, we'll give you a 50% discount on a second one. Order now.
30 years ago, a historic ice storm knocked out power for 10 days. Trees fell across power lines and ice snapped utility poles. Our Delaware Electric Cooperative team worked around the clock to help those we serve. 3 decades later, we've applied the lessons we learned during the storm to make our grid stronger. Through the dedication of our employees, Co-op Power has never been more reliable. And while the weather is unpredictable, DEC's commitment to doing what's best for our members will never change.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Today.
Every day,
We are adding to the star power in our studio.
the biggest names, only on Today.
Worth coming in this early, right?
Stick around, y'all. These guys are going to be back.
We work here now.
Legit legend right here in Studio 1A.
We got Olivia Rodrigo.
We're just getting started, folks.
This is Scarlett. She would like to direct the show.
Can we go to commercial break now?
Everything and everyone you're talking about, only on Today.
Hey moms, you know those unforgettable face palms? Those moments that leave us both laughing and sighing. They're not just mishaps, there are shared stories. Share your unique mom moments with us. Go to coastlife.com/mom.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show, the lovely Lily sings.
I like your whole vibe.
Are we going to become best friends?
Thursday at 2 on Coast TV.
Big changes could be in store for Ocean City buses. The bus fleet in Ocean City may change to all electric as soon as 2026. It would cost around $1.5 million to buy each electric bus. Governor Wes Moore pushing for Maryland to generate 100% of clean energy by 2035.
And First Alert meteorologist Bob Trahey is with us again, and we are tracking clouds moving in today.
Clouds moving in, but you know, we're going to see less sun, Matt, but the temperature's actually creeping up with a southwesterly breeze. 41 in Seaford, Laurel, Georgetown, maybe a little cooler in Lewis. 37 in Dover. Those clouds will thicken up as we go deeper into the day. Vienna 41, Cambridge 41, Easton around 39 for you, and then even warmer, Chincoteague around 48. So warming up definitely along the coast, but inland lower 40s from Princess Anne to Pocomoke City. Of course, we've got that snow on the way for Friday. It's a First Alert weather day. I'll talk about that. Then a frigid weekend, and then finally a warm up into next week. All the weather details in a couple of minutes.
Thank you so much. Also coming up after the break, Hunter Biden's art dealer drawing ethical concerns. We're telling you why lawmakers are now questioning a contract between the two.
Also, Congress is working down to the wire as the deadline to avoid a partial government shutdown inches closer, and we will tell you about the issues still being debated.
And a very scary day for students and staff at Cape Henlopen High School. We're telling you what's next for a student that was found with a gun at school. Coast TV News Today. We'll be right back.
Imagine a knife taking this much abuse and didn't need sharpening. Introducing the incredible NutriBlade knives. They're coated with granite stone non-stick and made of stainless steel, one of the hardest substances on Earth. Now everyone can chop, slice, and dice just like a pro. The Easy Grip rubberized handles deliver incredible control and accuracy to chop salads in seconds and cut frozen solid meat with ease and get razor-thin slices every time. The non-stick surface means food slides right off and they're dishwasher safe. Plus, they'll stay razor sharp guaranteed. A complete set of chef knives can cost you hundreds, but today you can get this professional 6-piece set of NutriBlades for just $29.95. Order right now and we'll even ship them to you free. Now get your own NutriBlade knives from Granite Stone. The last knives you'll ever buy.
Call 1-800-645-8074 or go to buynutriblade.com.
Oh, porches.
Hello, aren't you the guy I see on TV, the porch protection guy?
Yeah, I would
So they're
say.
made of marine grade materials that last for years?
Yeah, I would
And
go.
they say I could use my porch all year round?
I think
And
so.
they keep the dirt, pollen, and rain and wind out? And the custom made right here locally?
They are.
I got to run, but it was really nice talking to you.
Well, it was nice talking to you too.
Call or visit porchprotection.com for your free quote.
.93.5 The Beach.
This is CoastTV News Today.
January 18th, 2024. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pence. Good morning, Paige.
Good morning, everybody. It's going to be a fantastic morning, even though it's cold. I'm Paige Marley.
Boy, you stole my thunder. I was going to go cold. Oh, it's going to be cold. And you're like, fantastic. Hey, it's 6:30, approaching 6:31, by the way. That's why I like working with you. You are always glass half full, positive energy.
Not everyone always likes that, though. You know,
I think I need it, so it's good. I'm glad you're here.
There's a trend on TikTok right now that's like, for example, I'll use the cold as an example. It goes, it's cold, and it's like a black and white photo.
Yeah.
And then they go, it's cold, and they make the same photo colorful. Kind of like, you always have a choice.
Yeah. No, I'll go positive.
Okay, we'll go positive today. Hopefully that helps you get out your door today, because I'm telling you, I did not want to get out of bed on this very cold morning. Let's bring in Bob Trujillo to help you prepare for the rest of the day. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. And full disclosure, you both stole my thunder, saying it was very cold, and I have nothing to talk about. Yeah, well, it is very cold this morning. Not as bad as yesterday. The winds are much lighter. 18 in Delmar, 19 in Georgetown, 20 in Salisbury, 24 Bethany Beach, 23 in Rehoboth. So temperatures a little warmer and the winds a lot lighter. Of course, yesterday we were talking about feels like temperatures in the single digits. So it's not perfect, but it's better with temperatures feeling like teens and 20s right now as we're looking at mostly clear skies. There are some clouds off to the north, and I think we'll see those clouds increasing as we go through time. That's ahead of our next system that we're watching for Friday. But this morning, 20s eventually to right around the freezing mark at 9. Then I think by about 10, we're finally above that 32-degree mark for the first time in a long time. Mid-30s, 12:30. You see how the clouds continue to thicken up, and by mid-afternoon, upper 30s and low 40s should do it. And your day part forecast shows the increasing clouds and temperatures close to 40 with that southerly breeze. I'll have much more on the first alert weather day Friday and the snow amounts and timing coming up.
Thank you so much. This morning, Cape Henlopen High School is scheduled to hold its regular classes and after-school activities, but it was a different situation just yesterday. A very scary scene. Parents shocked by the revelation that a gun was brought to school by a student. After teachers were alerted that a student had a gun at the school, officials hurried, they tracked down the truth, and they kept the rest of the student body safe.
Yeah, Paige, I have a son that goes to Cape Henlopen. I texted him just a few minutes ago, hey, is school still on today? He says, yes, it is. And as Coast TV News reporter Charles Reinert, he has reaction from the school yesterday and an update from a news release from the Delaware State Police.
A scary afternoon for the Cape Henlopen High School community. Delaware State Police say a student brought this loaded 9mm gun on campus in their backpack.
Shock. Yeah, I mean, I'm really surprised. Wasn't expecting to hear something like that happening here.
After a late night release, we now know it was a 17-year-old student that was in possession of the firearm. A staff member alerted the school's student resource officer. The student was contacted, the gun revealed, and then the student was quickly removed and arrested. In a statement to Coast TV, Cape High Principal Kristen DeGregory said, quote, "The issue that occurred earlier today at Cape Henlopen High School is extremely concerning to the high school staff, students, and the entire Cape Henlopen School District." End quote. The teen is facing 2 felony charges, including carrying a concealed firearm and possession of a firearm in a safe school zone.
I know they practice for things like this, so that part doesn't worry me. It just worries about something like this happening again, and I'm curious to find out what they'll do to figure out what happens next.
After a nerve-wracking afternoon, parents, students, and staff can now breathe a little easier knowing that everyone is home safe. Both Delaware State Police and the school district say that there are no safety concerns at this time. I'm Charles Reinert in Lewis, Coast TV News.
And we move on. Delaware House and Senate Republicans have introduced 3 reform bills aimed at increasing accountability in the General Assembly. Now, the measures include setting up an independent ethics office, also restricting state funds to organizations linked to budget-writing legislators, and increasing oversight on community organization funding. These measures hope to boost public trust in the legislative process.
Happening today, Greenwood scheduled a Meet the Candidate night for voters to get to know their future town leaders. This event taking place at the Greenwood Memorial VFW Auxiliary. If you don't know exactly what that looks like, it's right there on your screen. The event is today at 7 p.m. and the municipal election will be held Saturday, January 20th.
And happening this afternoon, addressing concerns about water meters in Milton. The Water Committee is expected to review complaints about the meters from community members. The committee will also, or could vote on the Water Capital Improvement Plan, as well as town code regulations that pertain to the placement of water meters outside homes. And this meeting is scheduled for the Milton Library at 4 p.m. Tomorrow, it's the last day of funding for segments of the federal government.
That's unless lawmakers can prevent a partial government shutdown.
Now, this would affect military, construction, veterans transportation, the Energy Department, and more. Sticking point is that House Republicans want to address illegal migration.
Senators working on a bipartisan immigration deal. The trouble is crafting one with enough support by tomorrow night.
President Biden, new this morning, is expected to make a visit to our coast this weekend. He's expected to arrive at Rehoboth Beach tomorrow. The president is scheduled to stay for the weekend, leave Monday. And a temporary flight restriction will be in place for our coast during the entirety of his visit.
And all of this comes as testimony from Hunter Biden's art dealer, raising some questions about the ethical safeguards. Georges Burgess says his 2020 contract allowed him to give buyers names to the president's son. He says he never did so, and the provision came out of the contract the next year. The White House says safeguards like buyer anonymity went into place in the summer of 2021. But the contract wasn't official until September, and that has some questioning the timeline. The dealer denies anyone got political favors in return for their purchases.
Paige, we got more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Still ahead, applications for internships at Delaware State Parks. We're telling you how you can submit yours today.
Also, Lake Forest Wrestling looking for their 6th consecutive win over Del Mar. Back to Delmarva Sports Network with the highlights of this fierce match between the two schools.
And 2 local restaurants set to close in Sussex County when your last chance is to enjoy the delicious delights, and which restaurant already said goodbye. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
Remember me? Just like old times.
With all these things that I've done.
Let the steam rise like the majestic Mount Fuji. Unveiling a new ramen restaurant in Salisbury, the Fuji Ramen House is an adventure with each tantalizing bite. Enjoy your experience in a cozy Japanese-themed setting and indulge in mouth-watering appetizers, rice bowls, curry, and of course, our ramen. Handcrafted noodles simmering in a delicious broth with your choice of toppings. Elevate your taste to new heights and savor the umami flavors of authentic ramen at Fuji Ramen House, located behind East Moon.
Intruders are more likely to target homes with dark zones. Take the bullseye off your house and turn on Bionic Spotlight Extreme 360, the motion-activated home defense light that looks just like a high-tech security camera. It detects even the slightest motion and automatically triggers 6 ultra-bright LED high beams. During the day, it's disguised as a high-tech security camera. It's completely wireless and installs in just seconds. Powered by solar panels, no batteries needed. It adjusts a full 360 degrees. Call or go online and order your Bionic Extreme 360 for just $19.99. But wait, we can also include a second one. Just pay a separate fee. Plus, we'll give you free shipping on your entire order.
To order, call 1-800-316-1548 or go online to buybionic360.com. So call 1-800-316-1548 or go to buybionic360.com.
You win a prize.
6:39 on this, well, mainly clear morning so far. Tyndall's Casual Furniture Camp, beautiful shot. Sun's up now at 7:16, so a minute earlier than yesterday, and it comes up at 7 a.m. on February 8th. Just looked it up. 22 in Laurel right now, 19 in Georgetown, 20 in Salisbury, 18 in Ocean Pines. So we've got teens and 20s. Thankfully, the winds are much lighter, so we're not dealing with feels like temperatures in the single digits. It's feeling like teens and 20s. Still cold, but not as brutal as it was yesterday, as we're looking at mostly clear skies, but there are some clouds that will increase throughout the day. Let's take a look at the checklist for today. Now, you don't need the snow shovel for today, but keep it handy and know its location because you might need it tomorrow. But you do need the hat and gloves, a heavy coat, the gloves and mittens. It's cold out there. Warm beverage, warm up the car. Ice scraper as well, and make sure you have the shades handy too.
Bob, thank you. Milford hosting a public hearing on a village proposal from the Springboard Collaborative. It's to help fight homelessness. If it's approved, the Springboard Village would be made up of several cabin homes. Milford saying its role in this project would be to provide public land, but private land could also be used if it meets Springboard's program criteria. No city funds would ultimately be spent, as Springboard would finance the entire project, and the Milford City Council will hear comments from this during a public meeting on Monday, January 22nd at 6 p.m.
Yeah, south of Milford, two well-known restaurants in Sussex County, Sydney's Restaurant Lounge in Milton and Chap's Pit Beef in Rehoboth Beach, they announced they're closing for good. Sydney's, famous for its seafood and live jazz music, permanently closed after a New Year's Eve celebration, and Chap's Pit Beef, it's known for its pit beef sandwiches, says it will serve its last customer this Sunday. Now, both restaurants expressed gratitude to their customers in their farewell messages. No specific reasons were given for the closures.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good morning. Del Mar Wrestling aiming for their first win over Lake Forest since 2018. Let's head to the home of the Wildcats for this one. Lake coming in undefeated at 5-0, but Del Mar started off 20-6 in this matchup as the aggressors early on. In 132, Dom Adkins, the freshman, gets the win for the Wildcats. In 138, freshman Jerusalem Howard changing the momentum for the Spartans and getting a 9-0 win. In the 144 division, Ian Nance getting a 9-3 win for the Spartans. Then senior Case Dempsey wins by the pin for Lake in 150. Sean Farrell at 165 gets a pin as well while fighting through adversity and wearing a face mask. In 190, Bryce Johnson got his opponent's shoulder blades down for 6, and the Spartans defeat the Wildcats 41-32. Sticking with wrestling action, Cesar Rodney dominated last night with a 75-3 win over Dover to stay undefeated. The Senators hope to end their 4-game losing streak with a win over Cape Henlopen on Wednesday. Staying in the Henlopen Conference, Indian River Wrestling moves to 2-2 on the season with a 44-27 win over Woodbridge. The Blue Raiders have now lost 2 straight and fall to 6-3. That'll do it for sports. Have a great day.
Today in your entertainment news, the latest on some of the biggest names in movies and music. Here's David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
I know what they say about me. About hopeless romantics. That we're weak. And I'm not weak.
Jennifer Lopez puts her personal journey on film in This Is Me Now, a Love Story. The trailer just dropped for what's being called a narrative-driven cinematic original, which debuts on Prime Video February 16th, the same day her album This Is Me Now is due out.
The Osage, their time is over. We got to take back control of our home.
More honors for Killers of the Flower Moon, this time at AARP's Movies for Grown-Ups Awards. The Martin Scorsese film was named Best Picture, and Robert De Niro won Best Supporting Actor. Naiad stars Annette Bening and Jodie Foster were named Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress, respectively, while Coleman Domingo took Best Actor honors for Rustin. Best Director went to Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer, and Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach won Best Screenwriter for Barbie. Full results at aarp.org/movies for grownups. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Hey there, Delmarva. Here's what's happening today at 4 o'clock on Coast Life.
We're getting a little crafty. We can show you some sun catchers you can make with the natural materials around you and the cold temperatures.
Definitely. And we're getting a little gossipy, but in the best way. We're spilling the tea.
And if you're looking for your happy place, we've got a new happy place of the week for you with our friends at the Parker Group.
All of that and more happening at 4 o'clock on Coast Life.
Now, Paige is getting gossipy on Coast Life. Check it out at 4. Check this out. We've got beautiful blue ocean and the red skies on our Boardwalk Plaza cam right now. 23 degrees. Another cold morning, but not as windy. Clouds increase today with another round of snow, maybe a little bit of rain mixed in for Friday. It's a first alert weather day. I'll have snow totals, impacts, timing, and a very frigid weekend coming up next.
Have you ever felt leg pain, restlessness, cramps, tingling, swelling, numbness? If you've ever experienced the warning signs of bad circulation, then you need Legzercise Pro, the natural circulation booster that uses continuous automatic leg movement to soothe pain and promote healthy circulation the natural drug-free way. Soothe pain and calm restless legs. Reduce swelling in your legs, ankles, and feet, and stimulate healthy circulation. Stay active with Legzercise Pro.
Is the name of your bank changing again? The Farmers Bank of Willards has been a local independent bank for nearly 100 years. When you bank local, your money stays here in our community, where it benefits our local businesses, farms, and families. The Farmers Bank has real people ready to help and world-class features like our free mobile banking app with Lock-It debit card security, a Smart Cents savings program, and free checking with no minimum balance. Stop paying extra fees and switch to the Farmers Bank of Willards, where people matter.
Get the CoastTV First Alert Weather app with live satellite and radar, severe weather alerts, and extended forecast. Download the free CoastTV First Alert Weather app. Brought to you by Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling.
Next Jeopardy! 3 returning players compete for a spot in the semifinals.
This game shows you can still learn plenty of new tricks.
Thursday at 7:30 on CoastTV.
Weather brought to you by Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, dedicated to excellence in Delaware and Maryland.
Thank you for calling Coastal Comfort.
This is a complimentary call. A couple of years ago, I had my heat pumps replaced. Last night, I noticed one of them wasn't working right. Somebody was out here within a couple of hours, and it's working perfectly. But I was in the service industry for 33 years. Good service is something you can't find today. It very much is appreciated. Your crew is a good crew. Really fine people are professional and they're efficient.
Coastal Comfort, a Carrier factory authorized dealer. Carrier, turn to the experts.
It's now 6:46 on your Thursday morning. We are going to take a live look at Milford right now. Bob, I can see it. I can almost see the sun. It's on its way up. I cannot wait until the sun rises earlier, though. I miss those sunrises.
Oh, don't we? You know, it's going to take a few weeks before we can show the sunrises during the morning show because it's not till February 8th we see the sunrise at 7 a.m. Right now it's 7:16 that the sun is coming up, and we'll see it. It'll be nice, but it'll be cold. And make sure you scan the QR code right there. That will get you to the CoastTV weather app. We've got another snow event coming our way, and you want to watch that event on your phone, interactive radar, hour-by-hour forecast, so make sure you check that out. But check this out. We're looking at below average temperatures. Average high now is 45, only 41 today, but warmer than it has been. 38 on Friday with the snow and some rain. And on Saturday, here comes the last big push of Arctic air. 27 Saturday, 33 Sunday. And then we finally pull out of it, starting to warm it up on Monday at 41, and then gets even warmer after that. Temperatures now are not warm. They're in the teens and lower 20s. 18 Delmar, 19 Georgetown. Salisbury right now, you're at 20. A little milder, so to speak, along the coast, but still below freezing with mid to upper 20s there. And we are looking at a southwesterly breeze that's lighter. It's not a screaming northwest wind like we saw yesterday that made it feel so cold. It's still cold. Feels like temperatures pretty close to the actual temperatures into the teens and lower 20s. As we're looking at mostly clear skies, some clouds far northern parts of Delaware into Jersey and Maryland and Pennsylvania. And then we've got more clouds increasing through the Ohio Valley. These will be sliding our way today. Already beginning to see snow breaking out across the Ohio Valley. And there's more energy farther to the west, and this will congeal into one system and bring us that snow as we go into your Friday. Already a winter weather advisory for Kent and Newcastle counties where they could see in excess of 2 to 3 inches of snow, maybe more than that, causing more road problems up that way. Here's Futurecast this morning, still below freezing at 8, but by 9:30 we're above freezing. We thicken up the clouds into the afternoon, and I think many of us upper 30s, right around that 40-degree mark, and then through the overnight the clouds continue to thicken up. We're right around that freezing mark dark. 4:30 tomorrow morning, and here comes the snow as temperatures are right around 32. We could see a little bit of rain along the coast, but mainly snow event, and it could come down hard at times, and it overspreads the area by 10:30. We're in the snow around 1:30, so slick roads and sidewalks. Then it tapers off later afternoon into the evening, and then you see the arrows pointing out of the northwest as we see another surge of Arctic air coming in and very cold heading into the weekend. 1 to 2 inches of snow for a good chunk of Sussex County from Seaford to Georgetown, Long Neck, and Lewis, but from Bethany Beach down to Willards around a dusting to an inch, and then northern Sussex farther north around 2 to 4 inches, and even higher amounts as you get into Jersey and Pennsylvania, maybe up to a half a foot there. Here's our future feels like temperature Saturday morning, single digits, feeling cold all day. Boy, without wind, feeling very cold as we go through the weekend. Actual temperatures only in the 20s and 30s during the day. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, 41 today, first alert day on Friday for snow, 38. And then the weekend is just very cold, 27 Saturday, 17 Sunday morning, 33 on Sunday afternoon. And then we begin the warm up. Monday, 41, 48 Tuesday, and by Wednesday, we're in the 50s. That'll feel nice. 52 degrees, but a chance of rain showers comes with the warmer weather.
Hey, Bob, thank you so much. Well, for more weather updates, make sure you pull out your phones, scan that QR code right there on your screen. That's going to take you to our First Alert weather app. You can download the app for free and get all the weather updates you need.
Well, do you have an interest in the outdoors? Delaware State Parks is now accepting intern applications in a number of areas that offer hands-on work experience, including park management and land preservation. Applications can be submitted on the state parks website.
Some big news now from Ocean City. The 1910 Bank of Ocean City is being transformed into the Museum of Ocean City. The town saying this new museum is set to open this coming summer. The restoration all about keeping the building's historic charm, including its original hardwood floors and the old safes. This project is supported by state grants.
Ocean View has announced details for its Fire and Ice event in John West Park. The two-day event will include food, fun, and learning. They say it's for people of all ages. And according to the town, some of the food trucks you can expect are Smash Mouth Burgers and Taco Rijo. I'm hungry already. Few fun events you can get excited for are an inflatable maze race and ice carvings. And this event starts Friday, January 26th at noon. It will conclude Saturday, January 27th. And that day, the event start time will be 11 a.m. And Paige, I'm eager to see. It's Fire and Ice. The figure skater Chaz Michaels will be in attendance.
All right, looking forward to that. We've got clear skies, gorgeous start to our day. The seagulls are out and about. Look at that water on the canal on the Orsted cam, nice and smooth. We're looking at increasing clouds today, but then we're going to see some snow and some rain on Friday. It's a first alert weather day, and then after a cold weekend, we warm it up next week. I'm sure a lot of folks looking forward to that. I'll have your 10-day forecast coming up after the break.
Come out for the Delmarva Shorebirds Hot Stove Banquet, Thursday, February 8th at the Wicomico Youth and Civic Center. Get your tickets today, which include a buffet-style dinner and your opportunity to meet former Orioles pitcher Ben McDonald. Plus, there will be a cash bar and silent auction with sports memorabilia from your favorite MLB and minor league teams. Proceeds benefit the Shorebirds Fly Together Fund. Tickets available now at theshorebirds.com.
Your wallet is always in danger. Criminals can hack your information without you even knowing. Introducing Slim Mint, an ultra-thin RFID blocking wallet that keeps your cards and cash protected. Slim Mint uses the latest RFID blocking technology to prevent thieves from stealing your info. It's ergonomically designed to optimize space and keep your belongings organized. With the auto-locking Slim Mint, your cards and money stay securely in place. It has a built-in cash clip and a flexible outer band to fit your additional cards and cash. Call or click now and get Slim Mint for just $29.99. Order in the next 5 minutes and you'll get an instant $10 discount. So it's only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs, this may be your last chance to get Slim Mint at this low price. There's a strict limit of 3 Slim Mint wallets while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-613-4296. Call or visit slimmintwallet.com. So call 1-800-613-4296 now. Life isn't always easy. Sometimes we need a little bit of help to work through life's more challenging problems. At Addiction Medical Facility, we are here for you, believing in your strengths to overcome any obstacle. Whether it's addiction to substance use disorders or mental health issues, there's hope for a better tomorrow. Together, we can tackle what is holding you back. Our medication-assisted treatment combines FDA-approved medication with counseling, offering a holistic approach tailored to your needs. Addiction Medical Facility. Together, we find hope and healing.
On the next Tamron Hall, a daytime exclusive. Ja Rule joins the Tam fam. He was trending after announcing his big return to music for the first time in 12 years. Why his record deal had him at words with his haters. Then, Just Sam was an American Idol winner, but just 3 years later, Just Sam was back where they started, singing in the subway. How Ja Rule is now teaming up with Just Sam. Plus, a performance you don't want to miss on the next Tamron Hall.
Thursday at 3 on CoastTV.
It's now 6:54. It's time now for some things you need to know before you go. This morning, Cape Henlopen High School students and staff are scheduled to be on campus for classes and activities. This comes just less than 24 hours after we learned a student was found carrying a gun in a backpack there. According to the district's assistant superintendent, the school resource officer, the constable, and administrators were told a student might have a gun. When they investigated the claims, they did find a gun. Nobody was harmed. The school said there is no concern for safety.
Maryland Governor Wes Moore has released his spending plan for the state. Total cost for this fiscal year of 2025 will be $63.1 billion. Key areas looking to be addressed include public safety, child care, employee raises, and more. Now, Moore claims this plan does not raise taxes, and the way to accomplish this is the plan to move money around.
The cost of stamps and other United States Postal Service mailing services will increase January 21st. The proposed adjustments will raise mailing service products by about 2%. The first class Forever stamps, those are going to jump from 66 to 68 cents. Domestic postcards increasing from 51 to 53 cents. And international postcards jumped from $1.50 to $1.55.
Yeah, big changes could be in store for Ocean City buses. The bus fleet in the town may change to all electric. It could be as soon as 2026. It would cost around $1.5 million to buy each electric bus. That's each bus. Governor Wes Moore pushing for Maryland to generate 100% of clean energy by 2035.
Well, we are less than a month away from Valentine's Day.
Oh my,
yeah.
It's coming up, Paige. Pressure.
It's not that much pressure.
All right.
Okay.
One park in Pennsylvania is ready for lovebirds.
It shouldn't be that much pressure.
Oh yeah, how about this?
I know. The Garden of Cedar in Scranton launching what it calls its Garden of Hearts campaign. That's sweet. People can decorate the garden with hearts that include personalized messages.
As a Northeast Pennsylvania native, very excited for that.
Yeah.
Organizers say it can serve as not only a romantic gesture, but a way to remember loved ones who have passed away. Oh, that's nice.
That's very sweet.
Scranton rocks, Paige.
Shout out to Scranton. All right, 6:56 now. Time for a quick look at your forecast before you head out the door.
Yeah, we got one final check with First Alert meteorologist Bob Trihey as we have very, very cold temps to start this Thursday morning.
Yeah, very cold temps, guys, but at least it's not as brutal as yesterday. We had all that wind. So you take the wind out of the equation, and it's much more tolerable. We're starting out in the upper teens and lower 20s, so you're going to need time to scrape the frost, warm up the car. And then we're warming up through the 30s today as we increase the clouds, and I think some of us will hit that 40-degree mark with thickening clouds. Then we move into Friday. Here's your Paul Davis 10-day forecast. First alert weather day, we'll see snow. I'm thinking about an inch or two of snow, maybe some rain along the coast. So not a huge storm. 38, but then very cold for the weekend, only 27 on Saturday. Sunday, 33. And then the warm-up begins on Monday. Lots of sunshine, 41, 48 Tuesday. Then we're into the 50s beginning Wednesday. It looks like a rainy period Wednesday through Saturday, as warm as lower 60s as we go into Friday. I can see Matt breaking out the shorts already.
It is a sight, let me tell you.
I wouldn't be surprised. All right, let's move on. Thanks for joining us, everyone, on Coast TV News today.
All right, today's show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
We'll be back with Coast TV News midday at 11. Have a fantastic day, everybody.